Reaching on the yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are live. It's the Goal Line Goons, baby. Goons squad.
Bro, I got the camo hat on today because I'm ready for war.
Let's go, man. We always ready for war, man. This show is for all the dogs. That's not a Drake reference. Yo, let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to the Goon Squad. Let's go, baby. Hey, we are live. We are ready. We are bringing the energy. We are bringing the motherfucking pain tonight. All right. Last week was a little bit different. All right. That was our first show. That was our first run. We're going to be here every Tuesday. And every single Tuesday, we are going to be putting our foot in the back of the fantasy football industry's ass. Ain't that right, Taco?
So
Ain't that right, Taco?
So hard they gonna feel it. So hard.
I'm going to make them shit out of shoe. Ladies and gentlemen,
they gonna taste that leather.
They're going to taste that leather. Hey, this is the Big Guy Fantasy Sports Network. Links are in the description. Make sure you guys go head over to Big Guy Fantasy Sports. Get yourself a membership. All right. Some of the things that you can check out over there. Let me just stunt really quick, man. Let me just stunt real quick. You mind if I flex? Can I flex on them really quick, bro?
Take that mic.
Let's go. Yo, Big Guy Fantasy Sports. Here's our website. We're gonna get into some of the articles that we got going on. We got football, we got baseball. All right. Those are our two main sports that we got going on right now. Who knows? Maybe Taco get y'all involved with basketball. Maybe I start doing some UFC work and some boxing work. Who knows? This Big Guy Fantasy Sports Network. Of course, this is a football podcast. We're going to be going through a couple of our articles that a couple of our homies have dropped. Big shouts to the Big Guy Fantasy Sports staff. We'll also be checking out some of our stools, football consistency report, the consistency trend report, historical consistency tool, and our consistency forecaster. I'll definitely be using that tonight. So yeah, be on the lookout. As you see, I already got like a tab ready to go. Go get a membership. Sign up for the site. Yeah. Taco, you ready to get in the show, bro?
Facts, bro. It's crickety crack.
Let's get it. Before we do, let's crack open a cold one. To the big dogs. So, first topic that we got to get into, we have to get into the topic that I feel like every show in media has had to go over today. Of course, that is life after Aaron Rodgers. Like, despite memes and everything, Aiden, I see you in the chat. What's good, Aiden? I'm going to get to your question. Despite memes and things that flooded social media, what are your thoughts on this situation? It's a ruptured Achilles. We got the news. We knew it last night over on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network YouTube channel. So a lot of people already saw our reactions.
So I got to preface this as I am from New York. You know what I mean? I'm local to the situation. So I'm also in a group chat with diehard, lifelong Jets fans. So when I say I feel like I have a solid pulse on this, I think I do. Going into this game, I don't think the fans have ever been this excited, maybe since some say Vinny Testaverde, others say ever. Okay, we saw the entrance that Aaron Rodgers had. That place
was magical, bro. It was magical.
It was literally everything when you write up the football script. This is what you write. You get traded. You make your debut at home on Monday Night Football versus the division winners. coming in, you get the ball first. I mean, your defense gets the ball, they stop him. Now Aaron Rodgers coming out. It's game time. He's ready. And
It's litty. It's litty.
Literally, you could not have written a better nightmare for Jets fans. You gave them the whole off season. They literally were teased all off season with the promise of Aaron Rodgers, and 4 snaps. You got him for 4 snaps. It was a devastating gut punch where literally I felt the energy leave their bodies. Literally. Now
it did, but it left their bodies.
Yeah.
But damn, did they win that game last night?
Now I will say this: Robert Saleh, for all the criticisms we want to give him, he is a leader of men. And I don't think people understand what that means. And what that means is when your star quarterback goes down and your team gets gut punched like that on the fucking first drive that they have on offense after they get this guy, to be able to keep your mental fortitude, to keep your chin up, and to keep throwing the jab, I got to say, Robert Saleh did an amazing job making sure his boys were ready, making sure they didn't lose the will to fight. And he deserves that victory as much as Garrett Wilson does.
And kind of one thing that I want to go back to really quick. Like, no analyst ever wants to be accurate about shit like that. We did when we saw it, we immediately knew. Then when we got, the up close zoomed in video, then we knew even more. We were like, yeah, we already know, because it was very similar to the Cam Maker situation. Best 75 seconds of the New York Jets recent memory. But I mean, Aiden throws it up right here. Zach Wilson beats the division winners. What if Zach Milf Hunter Wilson can really go out there and go get? What if he can go get the job done? Like we've seen guys do more with less. Like we've seen guys do more. Remember that wild year where who was it? I want to say Kyle Orton led the Bears or Rex Grossman. Was it Rex Grossman? I want to say it was like the Kyle Orton year or either the Rex Grossman year. Had led the Bears to like a Super Bowl. Completely insanity, Brev. We've seen quarterbacks do more with less.
And let's be clear. Zach Wilson was the number 2 pick for a reason. He has talent. Now, did he put it together? Was he able to read defenses? No. Is it too early
to judge him in his career? How much of Aaron Rodgers during the offseason rubbed off on him is really going to be a big thing. How influential Aaron Rodgers can be, even though while he's healing, to still be a guy, a voice.
No,
I think that's going to be instrumental.
If I am the Jets,
really quick before you go, really quick, and I think that's going to be instrumental. The reason why I think that is going to be instrumental is because when Salah's going out here and saying, I don't know why people are placing us with obligatory QB, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, Carson Wentz, et cetera, et cetera. When things like that are being said, it makes me think that there is a chance, if I do my Doctor Strange looking in the many different multiverses, that Zach Wilson could be the guy, could be a guy. And they could be like, you know what? No, we're going to run with this. And we brought it up on our broadcast on our YouTube channel last night. So I bring that up to you. Thoughts on Salah's comments before we get out of this topic, because I don't want to spend too much time here.
Listen, so Salah, like we said, he's a leader of men. He knows right now, I don't have anyone else.
Aiden's such a team player. Aiden's a real team player.
You are Aiden. Good. We got you though. He is a real leader of men, and he knows right now they need to rally around Zach Wilson for good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. He's the only quarterback in that room that's going to play this week. It doesn't matter if they sign someone else this week. Zach Wilson is still going to play because at least he knows the goddamn game plan a little bit. While he wasn't able to throw downfield, he was still making some throws. Garrett Wilson bailed him out on that touchdown. Let's be clear about that. If Garrett Wilson doesn't make that play, they don't win this game. Do I think that they should I think that what you're saying makes sense.
It's a bailout. Hold on. You call it a bailout. I call it him just being a dog.
Fair enough. But I'll say this.
Come on, we're the goal line goons.
If I can get a veteran to hold me down for a couple of weeks and let Wilson still get a little bit more training, let Rodgers be able to sit with him, and by the end of the season, when I'm trying to make the playoffs, then deploy Wilson with him getting more training, I would be feeling better as a Jets fan because this defense can carry you far. This defense can carry you to the playoffs. This running game with Breece Hall and Cook with this defense can carry you to the playoffs. You need to figure out how you're gonna win in the playoffs, and you're gonna need more than just a guy that can get one touchdown with a dog making a play. You can't win like that every night in the NFL. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. But that's not a game you really want to play. Not with the offensive weapons that you have with Garrett Wilson. You need to give that kid a shot. So I think they should get a veteran. You're gonna see what Wilson does this week. If Wilson plays good enough this week, then maybe you run him back out. But if not, that veteran definitely going to be signed.
Well, I mean, while you're bringing up Garrett Wilson, let me just look at a thing. I just want to look at a thing. I want to look at a tool. Why? Because I can. Mm-hmm. Working for Big Guy is so dope. Can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of fucking applause for our CEO, Bob Lung? Let's go. Let's go. Look, forecasted in week 2. It's Dallas. Yeah, that one's tough. The way that, so what Garrett Wilson's coming up here on the consistency ranking forecaster. Whenever I utilize it here, I'll let you guys take a look. One moment. Let me do my producer thing. You know what I'm saying, man?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So pretty much what the forecaster is doing here when we try and forecast the projection for Garrett Wilson is pretty much saying that Trayvon Diggs is so freaking good. We could be looking at about maybe 4 out of Wilson, 0%. This is where me as a film guy, I am gonna lean the other way. And I'm saying fire up Wilson. With Wilson also, the forecaster is not taking into account that we're only into 1 week. So I want to throw that out there as well. Still very much a good start. You got to fire up Wilson. I know that there's a chance when you see a forecast like that against a defense, what Dallas did
last week
against New York.
Here's the problem, though. You can't sit. It's just one of those situations where it's like, it might be smart to sit him, but I don't know if you can sit him.
Yeah, exactly. It's purely situational. It's gut intuition at that point.
Yeah.
The tool says one thing.
Your number one pick, you bench him, and because Zach Wilson has no one else to throw to, and you just saw.
Yes, I can imagine that. Yes, I can imagine that. He's going to get
2 touchdowns, and you're going to sit on your bench and be like, "What the hell?"
The amount of fantasy football that your boy RumboyzRobbie here plays. Yes, I can imagine that. You know why? Because I've done that a lot.
So what you're
I've
saying?
I've traded away number ones. I've dropped number ones without them even being injured.
So what you're saying?
Why? Because I'm here to win.
We played this scenario out for everyone. We've seen
Colin Kaepernick to the Jets. Yo, for real though. Like,
I don't see it.
I'll touch on this. I'll touch on this and this possibility really fast.
Pause.
That was crazy. Look, if that happens, that is the most bloody insane thing that could happen for New York. It's not insane it is the most New York thing. It is the most New York media hype thing. Like, at that point, New York, you're literally chasing headlines. Like, I know that you're chasing a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl is within your tunnel vision here. I know that there's tunnel vision, but I think there might be headlines being captured here that are part of the tunnel vision as well.
Can I say something? And this is, listen, here at the Rum Boys, we are not affiliated with anyone. Here at Big Guy Sports, we are not affiliated with anyone. We love everyone. But he was an ambassador for President Trump.
Stop it.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say about this. No more.
Wow. Way to ruin a perfectly good live stream. Shut up.
I just don't see this ever happening. And I won't get into any of the other reasons.
Oh my gosh. Because, you're weird. That was stupid. That was the dumbest thing. You made us lose a view.
Well, I'll say this, though. I'm excited to see what they do.
Your entire fantasy football career.
They're going to do something, and we got to see what they do. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Anyways, God. Taco knows how to kill a mood. Garrett Wilson was hyping up Zach like hey, for real. If you look up camera, exactly. I know, Aiden. I know. We're not gonna go into that here. I'm not doing that. One thing that I was going to say about the whole situation. Do you want to play a game before we get into the next topic? This is like a quick game. It's like a 5-second game.
Yeah, you got to say it in the Saul voice though.
Take a shot if they stay with Zach Wilson, not if they grab someone else on the market.
Can it be both?
No, it can't be both.
Wilson's playing this week, and they're going to grab someone.
Listen, you cannot bench Garrett Wilson after that TD catch. You know why? Because the Big Guys Fantasy Sports Network says so. Did I just people's elbow that take? Yeah, I just people's elbow that.
And he's a monster, like a literal monster. Trayvon Diggs don't scare me.
We little monster. The monster underneath the bed has crawled out.
You know who scares me?
Just vanquish the NFL. Terrorize every player's nightmares. You got 1 second.
It's Micah Parsons. If he gets to Wilson too fast, it's over.
Micah Parsons. No, if he gets to Zach Wilson too fast, that's what I'm worried about. The Jets versus Dallas next week. Wilson being the starter, even if they bring in someone new, you can't trust like that. They'll go out there and get the job done. Hot read. So with that said, I'm firing up Dallas defense.
Back.
I'm firing up Dallas defense in fantasy league.
Yo, Dallas is just taking over New York. Back to
AJ Dillon, massive week. Yes, Dillon, massive brev. We are going to get into that here momentarily. NFL injury room. What NFL injury? We're going to go into the injury room. I need to like this is why I can't wait till I get the stream deck this weekend because I'm just going to boop. I'm going to plug in a freaking ER like sound. NFL injury room. What NFL injury affected you the most? We'll run down the injury report kind of ish. First, I'll let you go because for anyone that saw you on the Brother channel, saw you overreact like a mug, bruv.
Well, I mean, it depends because I also like to pose questions. So I don't want to go off the reservation, as they say. So just to keep it to the injury side, I guess the number one that affected me, and we've actually just talked about it, was Rodgers going down because I have Garrett Wilson in a league, in a big money league. So now my number one.
Okay, obviously Rodgers affects people. Obviously that.
Well, you say which one affects me?
Don't give me low hanging fruit here. I'm making content.
So then my number
into a TikTok.
Hey, listen, I was gonna lead.
Am I attacking my co-host chat? Yes, I am.
I was gonna lead into it. I had my segue at the road. Okay.
That was a terrible start off.
But the one that hit me hardest, J.K. Dobbins. Because J.K. Dobbins he was held out for so long. It was like I figured I'd at least get a couple of weeks. Like, I know J.K. Dobbins is like, brittle like Kittle. And I get J.K. Dobbins is in a contract year. It just kind of was like where he was falling. We were all kind of at a certain point saying, well, it's not going to kill us to take him. But it just hurts because this kid, this was his shot to really like cement a contract, a legacy for his family. Now that bag is gone. Like that bag is gone. He's not gonna get like he might get a minimum, he might get a couple million, but literally this changes his whole like career. So the one that affects me the most is J.K. Dobbins because that shit is like crazy. Like kid deserves better than that.
Yeah, no, that one is definitely a huge effect. Trying to go through some rosters here of mine and see what really affected me. If Eckler can't be good to go, and if it's super serious with Eckler, I'm good enough to where I can pivot. I don't want to say I have to kiss Bourbon Bowl goodbye because I have a really good team in Bourbon Bowl. But if I have to lose Austin Eckler, that's definitely gonna be crazy, Brev. Dealing with the ankle, it's tough. It's definitely tough for me.
Yeah, that's an injury that from what I'm seeing from some people, they think it might be a high ankle sprain, which completely changes the timelines that we're looking at and would definitely be a shakeup.
Oh, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, I mean, via Rotoballer as of a day ago, big shouts to the homies. It's unclear right now what the ankle injury is. They're heading into Tennessee. I don't know if you start the 28-year-old against the only 10 that I see. I'm not worried about Austin Eckler missing a week. I'm worried about and I'm not worried about if he misses 4 weeks. I'm worried about if 4 weeks turns into 6. Once we hit that 6 threshold, I'm hitting the panic button. So Eckler for me is one of the big ones. Obviously, there was definitely a lot across the league. But as for Taco and I, obviously the running back position, a position of glaring need for many, is a tough situation to navigate. Kind of getting into the injury report here. One moment. I'm just going to make sure that I have the latest and greatest. One second. While I do that, I'm going to let you begin to analyze Aiden's question here.
Yeah. Sure. I'm ready.
Aiden says definitely JK was for me. Taco, we get Judy back. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. And that way you can just eyes on the camera and bow.
All right. Yeah, so what do we got here? We got Taco. Would you trade Cooks? I'm assuming that's Brandon Cooks, MVS, and Chardonnay for Dylan and Elijah Moore in a 16-team league? I think that's an interesting question. Now we know that I just want to pull up the stats from that Packers game to see the run distribution. Because I know that Chardonnay only got 3 rushes. You're definitely panicking about that. MVS looks like he's going to be a solid lower end guy. Nothing to write home about, but if you need a pinch, he's going to be consistent enough where he might get you 5, 6, 7 points. He's no one to write home about, probably one of your first cuts. So he's really not much to give up, but solid enough that you probably don't want to get rid of him. Cooks and Elijah Moore could very well equal each other.
I messaged Aiden and I told him to do it. Do it. I feel like it balances out.
See, like I'm giving up Chardonnay, Cooks, and MVS, considering that if I need running back now, I'm doing it because Dylan right now is going to be a running back for at least a couple of weeks. And if I can hold off on running back, I probably wait and I don't do that because I think right now when you more could be, but so could Cooks. Chardonnay is interesting. We saw that Walker didn't do much in the passing game. He looked solid in the running game. Overall, that offense didn't look as good as it could. Somehow, I think that they're going to end up falling back to Chardonnay come championship time, and Chardonnay is going to be a factor come like weeks 12 to 16. So I really don't want to move off a piece that early unless I need a running back. So I don't know what your team looks like, but if you're in a jam, like you need to win games now, take it. But if you can hold off and you got enough pieces, I would hold off.
Yeah. Kenny Gainwell did not participate as of today. Be sure to keep your eyes on that. I do still think that you have a chance that he can play, but we'll be on the lookout.
I think Justice Hill also is going to be an interesting guy.
Hold on. Hold your horses.
Yeah.
Damn. You did not just do that.
Oh, no,
that's
last question. Like he said, Charbonnet is RB2 unless Justice Hill fulfills his need.
But yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Any news on Aaron Jones? Not yet as I look. Hold on. Let me see one thing. He hasn't posted anything.
I'm looking at clutch points and what they're
it's
saying.
It's a low-grade hamstring, likely playing week 2. Low stats impact.
Yeah, this actually might not be as good for Dylan as we thought. Like Dylan might not even be that much of a thing. Like he'll be a little bit of a thing because you obviously don't want to give him a full workload if he has a little bit of a twinge in his hammy. But I mean, I think we saw it. Aaron Jones is criminally underrated every single year, and everyone downplayed this Packers offense. He should have been over some of these guys that he was drafted under. So you got to steal an Aaron Jones.
Let's get back onto the show sheet really quick. We're gonna do 4 players. We're gonna go through the main, top like 4 fantasy football positions. We will each get to talk about one. You could preference whether it's a 2 QB, 1 QB type situation for how you are guiding your advice. 4 players, 1 apiece. Who are you grabbing off the waiver wires for week 1 to navigate around the injuries that you are dealing with, or whether or not a player just may have disappointed and you're just like, I'm just going to drop this guy and deal with it. I'll let you start this one, bro.
All right. So I'm going to start off with the tight end position. Okay, because let's face it, tight end is a little bit dicey. You had Andrews out. You had Kittle put up a bad performance. Kelsey was out. Goddard put out a 0. A lot of people are feeling uneasy. And, even Okongwu had a 0. So I'm going to go back to a drum that I've been beating for a long time now. Robbie knows it. He's been like what we want to call, quote unquote, my guy. And it's just simply because of the volume. Currently in Yahoo, he is 19% rostered, but it's Luke Musgrave. And now Luke Musgrave, he had 3 catches on 4 targets for 50 yards. But the thing about Luke Musgrave that I love is that he is on the field. He is basically involved in almost every single play. Now, he may not be getting targets, but he's still on the field in these positions. And at the tight end position, where, let's face it, some of these guys are just blocking or just doing this or just doing that. The fact that he's getting just so much time on the field and it seems like they're willing to use him and give him some targets. And I think he can continue to develop in this offense. And as they get some pieces, he might actually get some more space to operate. I'm gravitating towards, if he's available and I need a tight end or I'm dealing with injury, I want Luke Musgrave at the bottom of my roster, putting him in case I need it. I mean, last week he was tight end 13 in 1-point PPR leagues. He was started, I think he was, I don't know what he was starting in, but that's not that bad. Tight end 13, a lot of tight ends, dudded. And I just think that he's may not be the best yet, but I think he'll be solid enough that, you could play him.
Okay. You open up the bag with the tight end talk. I was gonna go to my tight end a little bit later. I'm gonna open up the bag here with one of my wide receivers, and that is no other than Puka Nacua. Ladies and gentlemen, say it with me. Puka Nacua. A wimbo up, a wimbo up, a wimbo up, a wimbo up. Puka's no worries. Ladies and gentlemen, Puka Nacua. I am all in on Puka Nacua. Led all rookie wide receivers this past weekend in yards after the catch and he was a beast. He was a beast. He was everywhere. And right now he's only rostered in 9% of leagues. Really easy grab. If you have him in Dynasty, you're already jumping for joy. But in terms of just redraft, give me Puka Nacua all day. The last time he uniquely enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Let me backtrack what I said about leading rookies. He led all rookie Rams of all time in receiving yards. He even beat out Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is third on the Rams all-time rookie receiving list. So definitely something to look out for. Definitely a guy to look out for. Buy into that Rams offense. Coach Sean McVay is still Hemi Neutron.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on that. As Puka was a guy that I was even right about. Like, there's two things that just make me love Puka. One, there's no Kupp. There's Van Jefferson ain't a guy. What does that mean? Air and opportunity. And that leads me to my number 2 reason why I like Puka Nacua. Sean McVay. I trust that man. That man with fantasy football, okay, sometimes he'll make you scratch your head, but other times he will feed that beast. And this could be one of those situations where Nacua, I mean, Tutu had a game too, and it looked like Van Jefferson was third, even though he was listed as the number 1. I am in on Puka, and if I don't get Puka, I'm not mad about taking a shot at Tutu while Kupp is down.
Aiden, I really think that you should be trying to spend up for Justice Hill, and I don't think that we should overreact on Charbonnet yet.
I would keep Chardonnay because I think his upside is higher than Dylan.
We'll see. Well, we will see. So yeah, definitely wanted to take a moment there and shout out Puka Nacua. You had a player that you wanted, another player that you wanted to mention. You already took your tight end. I took my receiver for waiver wire this week.
Yeah, so you know what I'm gonna do now, because we're bouncing back and forth. So we got a tight end, we got a wide receiver. So I mean, just logical. I'm gonna take a running back now, right? Let's keep this flow going.
Yeah. I was actually going to be getting my running back next ready. So yeah.
So I'm actually gonna stay on the same team. Actually, how crazy is that? What is Taco doing right now? Kyren Williams. That's what I'm talking about right now. Kyren. Honestly, let's think about it. Let's break it down. Let's look at some numbers. Kyren Williams on this game, he had two touchdowns, right? And Cam Akers had 1. But let's dive a little bit deeper. Cam Akers had 22 carries. Kyren Williams had 15. You're talking about only 7 less? carries, and in the 7 less carries, he still gained more yards. He looked like the better player. Now, how about this? In the offseason, there was rumors as we were heading up to the season of Kyren Williams bubbling up at the end, right? But they were bubbling up as a pass catcher. What if we haven't even seen the full usage that you might get out of Kyren Williams? What if this is just the precursor to him breaking out? And that's why, to me, if he's on the waiver wire and I have the ability to get, now I'm not spending crazy fab on him because I never like spending crazy fab. Maybe 10% max of my fab I'd spend on him. If I'm in a waiver league, I'll put the waiver in for him. Or if I wait for after waivers and he's still there, I'll pick him up. Why? Don't believe like Cam Akers. He looked solid at the second half of last season, but he also did it versus bad rushing defenses, if I remember correctly. So don't quote me here. I believe that we have a tool to pull this up, but we'll dive into that. But with that being said, I'm really feeling the Kyren Williams pickup right now. He's currently rostered in Yahoo in 7% of leagues. So when we say we're waiver wire dumping, we're binging low, we're not giving you guys that more than likely are going to be taken in your league. We're making sure we're putting it deep enough that, you know what, you can grab someone, you can put in a waiver, you can use your fab. And I think Kyren Williams right now is one of those guys that you should use your fab on. He was position ranked 9 this week as running back.
For me, I'm still going to keep it within the running backs. I'm going with the guy that is 4% rostered, pretty much almost across the board here. I've interviewed this young man. I've gotten to sit down and talk with him. That's Justice Hill. Justice Hill, I am definitely high on. I'm definitely all in. I've been in since 2019. Given some of the talent that has been presented ahead of him, he hasn't exactly gotten the opportunity to get the full burn that we have all desired out of him. Now, with that said, and with that being stated, my guy had a pair of scores in a very sloppy Ravens game. If you can have a pair of scores in that sloppy Ravens game against the Houston Texans, when that offense really gets to clicking, when Odell, Lamar, Zay Flowers, who I'm going to bring up later on in this show, Rashad Bateman, so on and so forth, when those pieces really start clicking, absolutely, you can best believe that Justice Hill is still going to get his. Excuse me. Wow. It's still going to get his and still be a very, very viable piece for you, ladies and gentlemen. 4% rostered at the moment. Go out and get them. I'm all in. I'm all in. And I think that he probably would have gotten, he may have not gotten a pair of touchdowns, but I mean, had the injury never happened to Dobbins, he still probably would have ate in this offense and eventually found his way onto your fantasy football roster at some point. Grab you some Justice Hill. He's going to be falling into the end zone. This team gets into the red zone a lot. I'm all in. I'm buying. And also, it's great if you can grab him before the person that's dealing with the Dobbins injury can grab him. You just got away with gold. Taco, you still have a receiver that you need to give.
Yep. And my next receiver, or I guess this is my first receiver because I want tight end running back. I'm going to go with a guy out of the Saints. And that's my guy, Shaheed. Like, coming in, like, he was one of those guys where it's like, he was at the end of your roster. You're not sure how the Saints are going to use people. And you're like, well, if I had a roster spot, I wouldn't mind him, but I don't have a spot. And now you start to see the usage. You see that he was the third highest targeted player on the team. He was used in the running game. He was being basically he was in the punt return game if I remember correctly as well, which is a nice little miscellaneous touchdown. It still counts if you get that touchdown, guys. Remember that. That counts.
Exactly.
But the way that they're using him, and even like I remember, was it Carr saying he sent them to go? He's like, go, man. And I'm going to tell you, it just seems like something's cooking there. And do we believe in Michael Thomas staying healthy? Is that like something that people really believe in? Because if that happens, then what happens to this target share? You know what I mean? So when I look at a guy like Shaheed, he just screams to me opportunity. He screams to me someone that I more than likely can get without using my waiver, without having to spend fab. I let people slide on him. I don't think everyone's going to rush out there for it. Now, in more competitive leagues, I think you are going to have to put in for him because realistically, we like to keep the bottom of our rosters tight. And if I have a guy in the IR, which is freeing up a spot, I'm grabbing a guy like this. Sometimes I'll use a waiver for it, especially if I'm like if I have a bottom third waiver, yeah, why not put a waiver on him? Because you screw anyone, like especially if I'm not waking up in the morning, nah. So I think that's a way to play it.
If I'm not waking up in the morning.
I used to wake up at 3 a.m. Bro, I used to wake up at 3 a.m. or go to sleep around 3 a.m. so I can make the pickups before people used to get livid.
I do that. Yeah, I have an alarm set. I'm not gonna lie. I do have a waiver wire alarm set on my phone. Yeah. I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna give my tight end, and then we will get into quarterbacks. For me, at tight end, no, this isn't bottom of the barrel scraping, grabbing a tight end, but this man is still available in about anywhere between 49% to 53% of leagues. Okay. There's a chance, a high freaking chance, about a 50-50 chance. Okay. So I won't say high, but there's about a 50-50 chance that this tight end is available in your leagues. And that is Chargers tight end, Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett is still out there. He did get 10.5 fantasy points this last week. If you can get that out of your tight end while you're dealing with tight end hell, essentially with the way that a lot of the injuries and things are shaking out, this is a guy that I'd be willing to grab and I'd be willing to roster. This is a guy that I'd even be willing to have in my roster like right now before tight ends start going down and people can't get one. This is a guy that I'm probably willing to go and get right away. Now we got to get into quarterbacks. Now we have to talk about quarterbacks. Taco, I will let you go first on QB.
Sure. I mean, technically, it was kind of how it ping-ponged out. You know what I mean? So it gives me an opportunity to talk about a guy that I was irrationally optimistic about. And I say that because we hadn't seen enough to be optimistic. And it was someone that me and Robbie were very different on. We were North and South Pole on this player, and to me right now, if I don't have a quarterback and I can get him, I am doing it. And that's Jordan Love. Like, my God.
I like it. I like it. No, to your point, I don't know where, first off, I don't know, all because I said I wanted to wait and see.
You were saying you were down on Pat. You know what it was? It was probably because I was irrationally Musgrave, like this is my second Packer.
Well, literally, all I said with Jordan Love was, I am not drafting him yet. I need to see what I am going to get out of it first. Hold on. And I simultaneously, in the same breath, said that he will definitely end up on, DFS rosters. I do have a couple of redraft out of my 35 leagues. I do have a couple of Jordan Love shares.
I wish I had more. I have more of them in best ball, but
yeah, and I do have some in best ball. Shout out to Underdog, promo code RumboyzRobbie. Let's go, shameless vlog. With that being said and stated, all I literally said was I wanted to wait and see before I went full pot committed. How the hell that this rumor came out that I don't like the Packers and I hate the Packers and I'm just shitting on the Packers. I don't like cheese all of a sudden, apparently, is what one follower said on my Facebook. The hell is wrong with you guys? I just said I wanted more NFL film.
All right,
that was it.
Make sure you cut this up as You cut this up as a short and you put it to Adele. Because the rumor has it, the rumor has it, he's the one I'm leaving you for. Let's go, Jordan Love. We gonna make sweet love this week, baby.
No.
Let's go. Versus the Atlanta Falcons at that. She's the one I'm leaving you for. Rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
We're
gonna get copyrighted just for singing the cover version. No, like Jordan Love did make me a believer. For my quarterback here, taking it to the home team, baby. We heading into Denver, dog. We heading to Denver, dog. Listen. Listen. This man was all over the DFS charts like this last week. I know people are like, oh, that's not a daily fantasy. He also won me like a couple leagues. Like I probably should have started him over maybe a couple of quarterbacks that I did play. I have massive exposure, like well over 45%. Like well over 45%. We might need to tilt it like well over 50% exposure on Sam Howell. I am going with the Sam Howell, ladies and gentlemen. He's 24% rostered. You can grab this man. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Cole Turner, Logan Thomas there on the other side of those jumbo sets that we're going to be creating. Brian Miniman Robinson, Antonio Gibson. He ain't going to fumble like that again.
If not, Miniman going to get that work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like this team is ready. Seems ready to eat.
Hey,
you don't give a fuck.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel as well. Yeah, Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel led the team in receiving.
Five catches?
Yeah, he's definitely an afterthought. Get ready. The Commanders are coming. Hail, baby. Hail. That wraps up our quick waiver wire game. If you are the way, just to kind of go through that game really quick, that exercise. If you are in need at any of those positions that we broke down, between A and B, you pretty much have a couple of options that you're able to bounce it back and forth. All right.
With very
obviously there's some, obviously there's some, that I didn't, we didn't get to mention the kid out of whatchamacallit, out of Tampa, Trey Palmer.
Then I gotta say, Kelly from Chargers. If it looks like Eckler's probably gonna be out this week, this guy, I mean, for the short term, this week maybe a couple weeks, depending on what happens with Eckler, I think he's gonna be viable. And let's not forget, in the first game, he had 16 rushes for 91 yards, including a rushing touchdown. Looking like they might use him in the red zone a little bit, so he might just be good for the rest of the season. So yep. Joshua Kelly is definitely someone that I think is worthy of a look.
Yeah, Trey Palmer, very deep stash, diamond in the rough type of vibes. But yeah, that's my honorable mention.
I got another honorable mention, Zay Jones, baby. 2 wide receiver sets, he's out there. Get him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and week 1 review. Who was on fire and who burned you? Who has you panicking early? But who also has you excited early?
Ooh.
Week 1 review. Let's go, bro.
All right. Now, do you want me to answer all 4, or do you want me to, or are we going one by one?
We can go one at a time. We can keep with the flow. Like let's start. Like, who's on fire, bro? Like, who's on fire?
Who's on fire was Calvin fucking Ridley, baby. Let's go,
Calvin Ridley. Let's give some flowers. Let's give some flowers, yo. We gonna give some flowers tonight. We giving flowers to Calvin Ridley, dog. Yo, after all, here's my thing with Calvin Ridley. After all the memes, after all the bullshit, this man said,
he said,
"What money?"
He's a goal line goon, bro. That's a goal line goon right there, winning
Straight up goal line goon.
One touchdown at a time. My boy say in training camp, he said, Zay, you gonna run that route? Let me show you how to run that shit in fast forward without fast forwarding. Like, we seen the talent is there. Now you give him a quarterback and Trevor Lawrence when, let's face it, Matt Ryan was like, everybody want to talk about, oh, Ridley this, oh, Ridley that. Let's face it, we seen when the end of Matt Ryan happened a lot faster. And when Ridley left, it was pretty much gone. So let's face it, Ridley was making the most out of nothing at this point. And I love the talent. He's an Alabama receiver. Alabama receivers on that thing. So he's on fire. He on burning hot. You know what I mean? I'm loving it.
We up in here. It's burning hot. We on fire. Yeah. It's too hot. Up in this spot. We on fire. We set a roof on this month.
You know what I mean? That could be a dope thing for the short for this one.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, no, I'll go big props with the Calvin Ridley. He helped me out big time in the Bourbon Bowl. You digging what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. For me, who is on fire? I gotta shout out the Cheetah, baby. 215 yards out of Tua's 400 plus something, like some astronaut. The man almost had damn near 500 fucking yards in week one in one game. And literally we all clowned him. We were like, when Tyreek was like, oh yeah, I feel like I could go for 2K yards or like like Tua might be the one to pass for 5K yards, bro. Tua might pass for 5K yards. I think that, and honestly, hold on. Let me see the consistency forecaster. Here's what I'm about to do. Here's what I'm about to do. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on, let me come back over here. Yo, we're gonna look at Tyreek Hill real quick, Tom. Let's look at this, bro. We're gonna go consistency forecaster, share. All right, let's do the damn thing real quick. All right, we're gonna scroll up. We're going to keep it with the wide receivers. Close out Garrett Wilson. We're going to go Cheetah. Let's wait till this loads. Ding. So you don't even got to type in the team or nothing. 19.997 fantasy points per game. 100% consistency rating, basically. Like, oh my gosh. And they got to play New England. Like, the defense is very average for New England. I'm liking this right here. I want all of this week. And for my Tyreek shares, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. New England get fucked. Yeah, I'm good with that. What are you thinking? Coming into the week with 100% consistency ranking. He's coming into this week with 100%. I mean, obviously based off of last week, it's going to be inflated. But I think the consistency continues.
Are we ready for the next one?
Let's go. Oh, we're not going to get into who burned you yet.
Oh no, it's perfect.
Hold on. Before we get into who burned you, I want to know who's heating up. Because I got someone for heating up.
Who's heating up? Okay. Who's heating up?
Can I go? I'll go first for my heating up.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a chance actually for real, because this man is 71% rostered. So, like, if you're just, kind of stumbling around and you see that this person's in your league, like, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be above 50% that you'll be able to grab, right? This dude is one of them. And it's Zay Flowers. Okay? This man is a freaking movable weapon for the Baltimore Ravens. And they are craving for more Zay Flowers, ladies and gentlemen. I know people are going to be like, oh, well, like it was against Houston. Houston's still an NFL team. And let me just show you guys how he was utilized here in just such a heavy way. I actually have his route map here. I'm sorry, he's about 87% rostered. And some depending on where you play, Sleeper he's going to be about 87. Yahoo will be about 71. This man had 23.2 fantasy points last season, or I'm sorry, last week. Last week. I'm completely in love with Zay Flowers, but what I'm going to show you guys here is really, really going to blow your minds. Okay. Hold on real quick. I just want to make sure I got this fully pulled up and fully loaded. Awesome. Taco, check this shit out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Boom. Wow. So Zay Flowers. All right. So anything and everything that you are seeing in green, that is all after the catch yards. All right. We see here, 20 plus, almost getting up to that 30, 40 yard range there. We love yards after the catch here at Big Guys Fantasy Sports Network. We love yards after the catch here on the Goal Line Goons. Routes, just the routes that he ran are going to be in white. Incomplete routes are going to be in gray. We only have one incomplete route. The rest, like either when he's not getting the ball, as you see in white, he's still completing the route. When he is getting the ball, the man is being utilized in so many different ways. We see him kind of utilized here, flats kind of ish area, little short screen passes, which in those instances he's able to get upfield. He's able to go and maybe gain about 10. Right here, we're able to see on this one, he's able to gain about, 10 to 20-ish. We're seeing him utilize in jet sweeps. We're definitely seeing him do like a lot of like leak routes kind of here. I am loving when I see stuff like that for a guy who I already projected to be a movable weapon, and I see that a lot of his routes are coming out of the backfield, and he's able to get open in space and get open and break away and also be able to accomplish yards after the tackle. Some of those routes that he's getting behind the line of scrimmage, very hard to develop and very hard to be able to get downfield and be able to progress. When a guy is getting you yardage like that, it's very Deebo Samuel-esque. I'm all in on Zay Flowers. Now I'm getting P. Ryan and Gibson for Robert Woods in my running back needy league. It's still my 16-man.
Okay, if you're being offered that, smash it right now and fucking run. Just I'm assuming that's Antonio Gibson. If they're offering, do it and go. Like, Robert would be a number one. He can get hurt tomorrow. Do it and go.
Do it and go, because another player that I was going to bring up for heating up is Nico Collins. But I'll go ahead and I was going to say that for later in the show. I'm going to just spit it now. 50% of the target market share down there in Houston. And I only think that that's going to continue. I know everyone's like, oh, well, Tank Dell. Preseason's over, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We're in the real NFL. We're in the real league now. You're playing about 200, 300-ish plays per game, both sides of the ball, flip back and forth. For the 160-ish, 187-ish that we're going to have, that you're going to have Tank out there, I don't know if he's going to be able to be more talented than Nico. So, Robert Woods, was on fire for week one. I think that Nico's about to really fucking take over that room.
I mean, personally, I think that it doesn't have to be or. It could be an and.
It can be an and. It can be an and. No, you're right. And that's even more reason, to look at both. I mean, but for Aiden's point in a 16-man league, P. Ryan, Gibson, getting that 2-for-1, running back needy, give up Robert Woods. There's a chance that for your scenario, Aiden, you're looking more so at the side that hopefully it's Nico that takes over, Tank develops, Robert Woods being the vet and the old man works himself out, or kind of gets worked out because the young guys take over.
I mean, for me personally, I would have done Woods for Gibson. So the fact you're giving me Perrine is just a throw in.
Exactly. Hell yeah, exactly. So we talked about who's on fire. We talked about who's heating up.
Oh, I should. I'll talk about my heating up guy then real quick.
You already said you're heating up. You said Calvin Ridley. Oh wait, no, you haven't given your heating up. Yeah, who's your heating up?
So heating up, I'm gonna go to a team that we never thought would have a wide receiver. We're gonna talk about heating up. You know who that is, boys? The New England Patriots. Ay Dios mío. Who am I gonna take from the New England Patriots? That's your boy Kendrick Bourne. That's your boy Kendrick Bourne.
Bourne identity? In week 2, are we already bringing up the Bourne identity?
11 targets in week 1. What the rules? What? Oh my god! 11 targets. That's what happened, bro. There was no Tyqueen Thornton. There was no Parker. And what that meant is that he got 11 targets and he took in 6 receptions. And guess what? He had 2 fucking touchdowns. And guess what? We all know he might not be a thing all year. But for right now, you need to pick up someone. I'm not saying to go spend big fab. I'm not saying to go spend waivers. But I'm looking at Kenny Bourne as, hey, maybe I can mess with you for a little bit. You want to go on a date? We ain't gonna get married, but we can go Waffle House tomorrow.
Pause. Tomorrow. That was crazy.
Hey.
Brev.
Hey.
That was crazy.
Hey, I got a little crush in me.
A little crush, you got a little crush. It's okay. It's okay. Me and Joe Burrow got a secret love thing that nobody know about. Everybody, actually, all of social media actually knows about it. Actually, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah. So that's your heating up. Okay. Where's the flame dying? All right. Where's the flame dying? Hold on. We see I'm rocking the pink. I got the pink lighter.
All right.
Who's got the flame dying?
Right. Hold on. I'm gonna shake this one up for you, Robbie. I'm gonna shake this one up for you. It's a Malibu. It ain't that strong. But Lord knows I need it because this one, oh my God, I'm panicked. I am fucking panicked. You know why I'm panicked? It's because I shouldn't have been in this situation. I shouldn't have went here, but I did. You know what I mean? It's like a Drake song because I took London. Oh my God, bro.
I'm just saying you could do better.
I'm just saying you could do better.
I'm not gonna play Drake London never.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's Marvin's Room with Drake London, bro.
Let me get it really quick. Here's what Taco's singing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying you could do better. I'm gonna start Drake London never.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
tell me, have you heard that lately? Because I'm just hurting if you have to play B.
And you know who's the problem, bro? You know who the problem? Arthur motherfucking Smith. Oh my God.
It's Arthur Smith. Yeah, it's Arthur Smith.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about what we spend draft capital on. He's like, Bijan Robinson, meet Terry Algier.
Hey,
Kyle Pitts, meet blocking.
Hey, if
London, you're going to be a decoy. Like,
yo, if fuck your fantasy team was in the dictionary,
bro,
Arthur Smith's picture will be right next to it.
And you know what he does to make sure he sticks it in there? 91% on the field. Oh, how do you say no to that? 91% on the field.
That's crazy, like, bro. That's crazy.
At no point you don't go just be like slant to the slot, curl to the slot, read.
I'm gonna keep it real. Bijan went off. Bijan went off, and Bijan's on the cover of the show.
Algier went off too.
But yes, Algier did go off as well. Heating up. It's NBA Jam.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. But when it comes to the passing game, Arthur Smith does not give a damn, bro. Like Arthur
He
Smith.
served up a facial.
Pause. That was crazy,
bro. That's what Marv Albert said. That's what Marv Albert said.
Pretty much. That is what he said. Like, that is what he said. The 90s were crazy, bro.
I was on content.
It's on fire content. This show is definitely we are putting on a damn show, bro. Even if it's just Aiden in the chat. Yo, for real, you look, Big Guy Fantasy Network, you guys are going to get used to the live streaming. You're gonna wait till the shorts drop. You're gonna get used to the live streaming aspect of things. No, like for real, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. You should be panicking early on that. You should have never even picked up Kyle Pitts. That's your fault that you did that. I have been telling you at a different channel about drafting Kyle Pitts. That's your fault if you do it.
Okay, so you know what drafting these guys are like? I'm gonna put it out there probably for a lot of us men, but I know women do it too. Okay, you go to the bar, you're drinking, you see that one, it's giving you the eyes. You're like, nah, bro, that's way below me, and you keep drinking.
And you go, and you do it, you go,
and you keep telling yourself no, and then at the end of the night, when you just can't take it anymore, and you're like, how are they still here? And you do it, and then you regret it the next morning.
For me, it's more like a Rihanna song, honestly, where it's like you gotta definitely be a masochist. Like there's like a borderline like if you're drafting Drake London and Kyle Pitts, you definitely have a BDSM. you definitely like whips and chains, excitement. No, come on. Like that is your theme song. Like if you're
getting players in an Arthur Smith offense is fantasy football S&M. You like bondage and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, that's
like to see your players
I'm tweeting that. I'm so tweeting that because look, I can get away with it. Like I'm RumboyzRobbie. I can get away with saying that. I'm so tweeting that.
That is amazing.
So I have to get into who has me panicking right now. Is it like so bland to say that like nobody kind of really has me panicking? Like I'm not there yet. Like I'm not there. Like, I'm not even gonna use this segment to sit here like Kadarius Toney.
That's not the name of the segment, Robbie. That's not the name of the segment, Robbie. Get on your show sheet, bro.
He's like, get on your show sheet. Look at you. Keep me honest. Look, let me look at one of my best lineups actually, and I'm gonna see who did the worst. And that's actually how I'm gonna pick this.
So while you do that, I'm gonna bring up who burned me because he was already brought up. So
damn, this lineup is so stacked that I'm not even worried. Damn, I'll have to screenshot this lineup to you, bro. You're gonna be like, Brev. You're gonna
who burned me?
Mate.
I faced Tyreek Hill in more than
wait. Before you get into that, I actually do have one that has me panicking. Let's take it down south. Yo, fall's coming, right? Fall's coming. What do people do when it starts to get cold? We go where it's warm, right?
Yeah.
Let's go and take a trip all the way down south where they got the golds in their mouth. Duval. Jaguars receiver Christian Kirk has me worried, bro.
Yeah.
Jaguars receiver Christian Kirk absolutely has me shitting a brick.
I did mention Zay a little bit earlier, so this is even deeper.
Well, no, you mentioned Zay, and you were already you. So for those that don't know, Taco was already vested in Zay from last year. If Taco was in a keeper league and it was like you have to pick a keeper, but it can't be like a big name player that's like selling mad jerseys. Like you got to pick like a under the radar guy. You got to pick a diamond in the rough guy. Taco would have kept underneath those rules, Zay Jones. He's been beating this drum for a long time. I'm gonna give my man's credit. Hey, look, I'm giving you credit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Zay Jones proved it too, baby.
Everyone thinks that I hate you, bro. Everyone thinks that like all we do is argue and we fight, and it's like, no, we're actually friends.
Yeah.
With that being said,
iron makes iron better. Sharpens
iron. Yeah, iron sharpens iron. With that being said and stated, Christian Kirk does have me worried. I think that with Christian Kirk, for those that aren't Taco or Robbie or a Bob Long, a Prue, a Prue Patel. If you're not one of these guys, Ron, here at Big Guys, our whole staff over here at Big Guys, big shout out to the whole staff. Probably not one of us, probably not, in that analyst circle. You probably weren't hearing about Zay Jones stepping up and being the wide receiver too. So you're sitting back and you're looking at Christian Kirk's performance in week 1, and you're either thinking, okay, well, it's week 1, it'll work itself out. But this ain't a Little Wayne song, and it all won't work out. So with that being said and stated, I'm using Christian Kirk as my easy depth trade piece or flex trade piece. If I need a flex, if I need depth, I'm getting rid of Christian Kirk for the low. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's a bit worrisome when you think about how good he was last year. Because
the money he got. But he was a 3 on Arizona anyways. I mean, Arizona's nothing to write home about. But I mean, if you were a 3 on that offense, like, come on, bruv.
And I think everyone forgets that, like the way you play and the personnel you have dictates everything. And right now, last year there was no Calvin Ridley. This year there is, and what that means is somebody got to sit down. Yep. And right now it's Kirk. That's what the coach said. It's not us. We're not campaigning. The coach said it. Let's
go into who burned you really quick.
Yeah.
Because I do have another podcast I gotta be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the burn still burns. And I was touching on it earlier. It's Tyreek Hill. Oh my God. I faced him in over 4 leagues, 5 leagues.
Well, you faced him. You weren't who burnt you? Like who did you roster that burnt you? Like,
oh, like Sky Moore? Like that? Like Sky Moore. Yeah.
So Sky Moore, out of all of your draft picks in fantasy football, Sky Moore is the one who burned you.
I mean,
we did the trade. Aiden accomplished the trade. It's locked. It's locked in.
Oh yeah. That is fucking nice. And you got the lockup in whatchamacallit in Denver.
Aiden is both a goal line goon and a rumboy. You already know he went out there to just punish, bro.
Yeah,
already know. When you're subscribed to both those channels, like when you're subscribed to, and when you watch, like,
and that's Antonio Gibson. Just to be clear, that's Antonio Gibson, right? Because that person is completely panicking. Because I take Gibson still over Woods. Like I like Woods and all, but I'm
Aiden just won that joint. Aiden, yeah.
You just bullied that man at the goal line and take.
Yeah, you bullied him at the goal line.
Yeah, no,
y'all already know what it is. Help you win championships 1 goal at a time. Who burned you? Who burned you? Let's make it quick.
No, yeah, I just told you. Yeah, Sky fucking Moore. Oh, that was bad, bro.
Andy still has Charbonnet. Good shit, bro. Good shit.
One other person that burned me, Graham Gano. Oh my God, 0 for Gano.
Your kicker, yeah, okay. So let's talk about that. Like your Giants couldn't score a touchdown, or like it's the biggest shout out. That's the biggest shutout in Cowboys history.
The Giants couldn't get it up. We couldn't do anything. Like it was limp all the way. Like, and you were so bad. It was I was on live stream with you actually, on the other channel, and we were watching Evan Neal get beat, and then I was watching on plays where the guard and Evan Neal literally got shoved to the side, and then Micah Parsons is running straight through. And then I was watching other clips where they had Micah Parsons coming on the side for Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is hurt at this point, so they moved over Bellinger for the tight end to help with the blocking assignment there, and they had a backup end on Evan Neal, and Evan Neal is getting manhandled by the backup.
You
And
know
if
who
you
burns
can't win
you?
that
You know
one-on-one
who burns
match,
you? The Giants' offensive line burns you. That's who burns you.
Like that was horrible.
For me, who burned me? No other than T. Higgins. Not being targeted at all. Put it up a goose egg. It's not your fault. That's not going to happen. That's not going to continue. One of the things that happened before we went live here for Goal Line Goons here on Big Guy Fantasy Sports is I jumped into the Twitter space with Bob Lung, and our CEO was kind of, he had mentioned, he was like, one thing that I've learned, in my many years, I'm not going to put the amount of years out there for his, no, fuck that. For his 25, damn near 30, almost 40 plus years of playing fantasy football, Bob, I love you. And I'm sorry I had to make the joke for comedic sake. But boss man, when you said that, it was so poetic when you were like, one thing that I've learned is to never panic over week one. Because I've been saying that, and I've been trying to tell my followers that. And that is such a poetic take and such an important take. Don't panic right now, guys. When you have vets in the game, as you guys like to call them, fantasy football dinosaurs, kind of like teaching you the game and teaching you and telling you, don't panic over week one. If you have to make the only week one waiver wire moves that you should be making is due to injury. For week one, bad performance gets depending on how bad the performance was. Bad performance kind of gets a pass. If it's Sky Moore, you're dropping Sky Moore. That's different.
More, actually. I might drop Jalen Hyatt just because his usage right now is so low. Like, I don't know if I can hold him for 3 weeks, 4 weeks to figure it out. Like, I would rather take Puka. Like, you know what I mean? I have Hyatt on the team, so I'm going for Puka over Hyatt at this point. Like to me, that's a logical play depending on who you have. Like, if you have a guy that's like, Hyatt could be a thing, but right now Puka is a thing, and his target share is enough with a solid role versus a guy that doesn't have a role. I think those are the kind of ways that you have to start looking at, your ad drops. Like, this guy could be a something, but do I have enough depth to wait for him, or do I need something now? And that could also predicate some of your moves for your bottom end of your roster. You're not messing with anyone that's not in your final 3 picks. Like, you don't go higher than that. Like, your defense, your kicker stay, but the other ones make moves.
Let's make this super quick. Let's make this super fast. We have a couple of minutes here.
Yep.
I want game of the week, followed by upset of the week, and then bet of the week. And we're also going to do a shot really quick here. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. Hey. Big Guy Fantasy Sports, what it do?
Let's get it. I'll let you go first.
For me, my game of the week. This segment here that we are closing the show with has not necessarily, it can be fantasy related and it can be your game of the week for fantasy, or it can just be your game of the week for fandom or whatever. It's your game of the week. This is my take. You got to live with it. I am going to be live. It is going to be a Twitch exclusive. So if you don't follow me on Twitch, look me up, Rumboy spelled with a Z, N-E-T on Twitch. I am going to be IRL for an away game in enemy territory. My Commanders are coming here to the Mile High City, and we take on the Denver Broncos. Win or lose, I'm going to be in the stadium. I'll be streaming IRL before the game kicks off. I'll be on Rum Zone a little bit before the game kicks off, but, I'll be streaming IRL. So definitely make sure, check out my YouTube channel, check out me and Taco's YouTube channel. And check out our Twitch channel. That's my game of the week. And it's also going to be my same upset of the week. Washington's going to beat the brakes out of Denver. We're going to beat the brakes off of Denver, bro. I'm up. So as it is said, so it shall be written. And my bet of the week, Jahan Dotson anytime TD, baby. I'm going into enemy territory. I gotta go with it. Hanson says really quick, yo, what's good, Hanson? What's good? Dilly, bro. I got a trade offer. Wilson for Ayuk. Garrett Wilson.
If that's Garrett Wilson, I know what everyone's going to say. Ayuk, and there's no quarterback, and I'm taking Garrett Wilson and running. I know Ayuk had a good game. I know Ayuk could be a thing, but let's face it, Garrett Wilson is a dog.
If that's Garrett Wilson for Ayuk. I'm on the other side of that. No, actually, no. I'll side with you. I feel like Garrett Wilson will be
talent over everything in that case, and he's gonna have more of a volume share when Kittle's there and Debo's there and Ayuk's there and McCaffrey's there. Yes, he got it.
Yeah, there's Ayuk has market share issues, whereas Wilson does and doesn't as much. With Zach Wilson at QB,
yeah,
we've already seen this with the Jets.
You're right.
Garrett Wilson is QB proof. He's QB proof.
Yeah.
As long as Garrett Wilson can continue to be QB proof, as what we saw with early DeAndre Hopkins, as what we saw with early Terry McLaurin, if we can get that QB proof-esque type of situation out of Garrett Wilson, you're right. Yeah, I'm all in. Give me the Ohio State kid for sure.
And I'll add that Zach Wilson looks better than he did last year. So
stop it. That was no.
Last year he wasn't even serviceable.
We don't know if he looks 100% better. We don't know if it is better. Nah. Lee says keeping the Commanders defense better do me good. That Commanders defense was rostered everywhere in DFS, and that Commanders defense was a part of. No, it was Dallas's defense that was a part of the number 1 lineup, but the Commanders defense was a part of the number 2 lineup. That's not really a thing. If that happens, did that really happen while we were on air?
Never.
That's like the second time that someone has commented that.
You're trying to bait us.
It's Wentz, Kaepernick. It's Wentz, Cam, Kaepernick, Rosen, Flacco. Ryan said he's officially not retired. Chase Daniels, Nick Foles, Kellen Mond, Bryce Perkins, Trevor Siemian, Danny Etling, Colt McCoy, Ian Book, Matt Barkley, Brett Hundley. Those are the options. But I ain't going front. This is the option that I do want to see. Like, I ain't going front.
I want chaos. I'm not about that.
I want chaos. Oh, bro. The name of the episode is the NFL roller coaster. Go ahead. Let's give me your game of the week, upset of the week, followed by bet of the week.
So my game of the week is going to be the Bengals versus the Ravens. That is going to be fire. You got Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow. Oh my gosh. T. Higgins coming off a 0 performance, and Zay Flowers trying to repeat off that great performance.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah. Like, how is the running back situation going to play out for the Ravens? And can Joe Mixon really take that workload and run? Like, everywhere you look, there's certain questions that you're going to want in that game from fantasy perspectives, from the division perspectives, from a football watching perspectives. That is
and then if the Bengals go down 0-2?
And they will. They won't. Lamar coming back.
They're not going down 0-2 in the division to start the season. They're not going down 0-2.
So you're saying the Ravens are going to lose?
What? Yeah, I am. No. Yeah, actually, I am. They barely beat Houston.
No.
They got out of Houston by the skin of their teeth because Houston was fucking them up for like that whole first half, like first half and a half actually. but I'll let you continue. Okay. All right. So that's your game of the week. Upset of the week.
Upset of the week. That right there is a really fantastic question because there's a lot of I would say games where you really could maybe see something crazy. And I'm gonna look at this game right here as you're catching a wounded beast, and that's the Jaguars and the Chiefs game.
The Jaguars.
I think the Jaguars come in with a little beat up receiving core, not really feeling themselves, and Calvin Ridley on fire, saying like, "Who's gonna guard me right now?" And by the time they start figuring out Ridley, all of a sudden ETN gonna start popping, and by the time they start putting ETN back in, then goes Zay Jones. And guess what? Didn't they play each other in the playoffs last year? Didn't they get eliminated last year in the playoffs by the Chiefs? Did they eliminate these boys?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
they got a little parlay,
an upset parlay of the Jaguars and the Commandos.
Ooh,
sexy. Ooh. I like that.
The Shagmandos.
That's a kink. That's a kink. Oh, yeah, that's a kink. Okay. I like that.
Trevor
and
Lawrence,
then finally, your bet of the week. I said Jahan Dotson anytime TD was my bet of the week. What's yours?
Well, I mean, I think I've professed my love already on this show. I've already put them as my upset. Calvin Ridley touchdown, maybe. We're just going to ride that streak back-to-back week. Let's go.
Okay. A Ridley with the Jahan Dotson, with a Jaguars and Commanders upset, with a Commanders money line mixed with a Ravens money line. I mean, obviously, all of mine wouldn't be able to, go together. Mine would have to be an SGP, but okay, I like that. I like that. I mean, Commanders plus 145 on the line. So yeah, I like that.
I wonder who in that.
Yeah, the Chiefs are ass at catching the ball right now. What's up, Leafs?
I don't have the odds up, but who there's two games that I'm really interested to see the odds. The Colts and the Texans. Is that like a pick'em game, or do they have a team favored? Because I would think that should be a pick'em game.
I feel like that when you have those two rookie quarterbacks against each other, that can easily have an argument. And okay, we're gonna co-op this one, and that is our honorable mention for game of the week with those two rookies. Who are you picking in that?
Well, I'm gonna go completely.
We're gonna close out with this. We're closing out with this. Who are you picking?
I'm gonna go completely biased. I want the Colts because I need AR, baby. I want to see that keep going. You should show me that potential. I
won't call that. Hold on. I won't call that bias just because you don't need the Colts to win in order for AR to go off. It's like just pure betting. Like, right. Are you taking the Colts as like from just betting? Like remove fantasy from it. Like, are you?
Well, like if you go with my ideal game plan, Richardson's going to be so good that they win. He's going to go off. Like, you know what I mean?
They're minus 122. They're minus 122.
Yeah, so I would go theoretically Colts, even though I do kind of like the Texans coach. So, I think they'll be better. I think this is a pick'em game, and I'm praying for a big Richardson game. But Stroud, I mean, he might be better than we thought.
For me, with this game, like I said, honorable mention for game of the week, given the rookie quarterback battle between the two. Houston Texans at a plus 102. Scared money don't make no money. I personally do think that the Colts will win. I'll still take the Colts at a minus 122. What I would do is wait for this line to go down a little bit later in the week, and then I would go ahead and pounce on it, and then I would play that line. But I do think the Colts will win. But at a plus 102 dog right now, if you want to sprinkle a little bit on Houston, I definitely have no problems with that. We don't know what's going to happen in this, but I personally think that AR is on a mission to prove something. He is Cam Newton 2.0.
Mm.
I don't.
He's like
And
this
after losing,
R2.
yeah, and after losing last week, where it seemed like things were just going in his favor so heavily, and then taking the major hit, but then getting back up. The kid has all the makings of a real NFL quarterback, and I mean, I'm rocking with AR right now on that one. But I don't blame anyone that wants to take a plus 102, especially if you just need a little bit of a juice on a parlay. Other than that, Taco, final words.
Man, listen, last week 1 was crazy. I think we saw some things that we expected, saw some things that we didn't expect, and we saw more injuries than we could have imagined. I think that, these situations are completely rearranging the way draft boards should be looking or are looking now. So, you can't really hold too much to your draft valuation in some of these instances as we watch workloads and playing time start, shaking out. You don't want to, panic yet, but you need to keep your eyes open and vigilant and make sure that you're trimming the fat at the bottom of your rosters and keeping the best players available.
Absolutely. Leaves, definitely go back and watch some of this, bro, because I know you do your thing with the shorts. I'll cash app you a little something. If you can go back and cut us up some shorts of this joint. I know you already do the Rum Boys shit, but I could use your help with this right here. For real. But other than that, I don't have anything else I want to add. Follow me at Rumboys, spelled with a Z, N-E-T, or either at RumboyzRobbie on Twitter. RumboyzRobbie is really that's the only place I'm RumboyzRobbie is on Twitter. Other than that, I really do love and appreciate everyone that pulled up, stopped in, showed love. We're really trying to blow up this channel. We got tasked with, really taking this thing to the top and really showing, a new flavor over here on Big Guy Fantasy Sports. So run up these views, run up these likes, run up these comments, comment after the show, go back, watch the show, because honestly, there's some really fire takes and a lot of funny content throughout tonight's episode. But other than that, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy RumboyzRobbie. That's the homie TDS Taco. And can I get hey, let's get it a bark one time. Hey, welcome to the Goal Squad.
Preaching on the, yeah.